Hi everyone, it's Peter and Eddie from PS Sound today, and this is Thursday, the 4th day into this Volkswagen, although we've done more than 4 days. Yeah, it's taking more work than anticipated, but it's going nicely. So the pillars, as you could see from yesterday, dried to the morning and they were sanded back, so they are ready for trimming. That's nice and solid at the back as well. Once it's trimmed, it will get deadening behind it. And we will pray that they will go back somehow. Door cards. So this is what was done on it previously, and I would just like to highlight something. We showed it before in the Suzuki project as well, where we had a separate part for deadening and we had a separate part for soundproofing. When a shop says that, oh, we soundproof your doors, did they? Well, the thing is, it's not enough to add deadening to the door card. Actually, deadening does less kind of advantage to the whole performance and everything than actual soundproofing. What you want to do, and we showed it before, that you want to isolate the door card. Now, just because they put deadening on this thing, it doesn't isolate it from the inner skin. So when the inner skin flexes because of the bass played by the mid-bass driver, and this reaches it anywhere, any hard surfaces, that, you know, it can buzz. Fortunately, Volkswagen is one of those platforms which are less prone to rattles and vibrations, but still, this thing should be covered with nice absorber. And actually, Eddie, can you find it? Because we have something new. We have something new. Usually we use the silent coat absorber, air crate type absorber, which has self-adhesive back, and you just cover the whole door card, and that tiny little thing makes a big difference because it isolates it, minimizes buzzes and rattles, and then also... Say again?
Isn't this box?
Quite possibly, yes. And it also, we can show it later then. Okay. And it also actually makes it quieter in the car. So deadening on its own doesn't do much. Yes, they can show a picture where we did this, but it's only part of the whole picture, what should be done. I would rather do soundproofing than deadening, put it that way. So this is where we are now. We can't do time-lapse today because there's a lot happening. I can show the mid-bass in the door, because we are about to put the door cards back once we put the soundproofing on it. So what I was mentioning before, that this plywood was now bolted through onto the inner skin with countersunk bolts, and then the inserts that we fitted in the plywood, then we just use short bolts for that, and we bolt the driver on. This way it can come in and out that easily. You don't have to take the whole door apart. So simple as that, no magic.
Foam behind the ring. And
yeah, that's gasket behind the spacer and between the inner skin as well as behind the driver. But the foam is not put onto the speaker, so you don't screw it up. It's put onto the wood, so the speakers should just come loose without any residue and crap put on it. I saw it before. People put literally deadening underneath the driver, and when they squashed the driver onto the spacer, all that deadening dum-dum pushed out like liver pate, and it just screwed up the whole speaker. You might have seen that nightmare video we shared years ago in the Chrysler 300C. That was pretty bad. So the Steg mid-bass drivers are in, and the door card can go back now. So this is the new stuff that we have from Steg, and I used to use similar stuff from 3M. 3M used to have Thinsulate many years ago. Yeah, probably 2015 was the last time I could get their stuff, but they went down or they just stopped using this, selling this. But now Steg has this OEM-like blanket, soundproofing blanket, which comes with self-adhesive backed layer. If I can show it. But yeah, once you put it down, you can't pull it back up, otherwise this blanket delaminates and separates. You can see the silent coat absorber on the top that we use quite often. This is really nice stuff. It squashes down literally to nothing, 1 or 2 mil from 15 mil. The Steg also squashes pretty well, maybe not as squashy as the silent coat. And as you can see where the door card reaches the inner skin as it sits on, we isolated that and covered the whole door with this blanket now, just made little slits where we have to put the plugs through, and then this way we should have way less resonance and vibration, plus a quieter car once we do all 4 doors. Alright, so this is the end of the day, and it's 7:07, so more than long enough. I was hoping to finish everything by tonight so I could have had an easier day tomorrow, but to be fair, we had a fair amount of work that wasn't anticipated at the beginning. Like, the mid-bass swap should have been just a swap, speaker out, new speaker in, done. We had to fabricate the new rings, mount the new rings. Doesn't sound like much, but it all adds up. And then with the pillars as well, as I had to sand it because it had residue left in it and whatnot. But it had to happen. So we will finish it tomorrow. Oh yeah, plus rear feel. We are swapping the rear feel as well. So this door has been stripped off. We already added deadening. And we tried something new from Steg on that one as well. They have some crazy stuff, I'll show that in a second. Well, I only did that bottom section, and probably, to be fair, just this 1/3 of the door where I could reach in without making more work and taking the whole panel off. And it made the door nice and dead, considering the little amount. It doesn't have the sound it used to have, because they have this crazy multi-layer stuff. There's some sort of, it doesn't even want to focus on it, like foam in between, sandwiched in between the deadening. It's 5mm, it's really rigid, X5, that's the thing. And you don't need much from this. Whereas sometimes I feel like I want to double up the 2mm silent coat. This just does it in one hit, or you don't even have to do the whole door just to get good enough performance. Yeah, it's more expensive, but now it made things a bit quicker. The front mid bass is installed, both doors, so that's done. So we just have to finish the rear, and we have to add a bit of lighting to this just to bring it up a bit, just to say that, you know, this is proper PS sound build now, even if we haven't done everything in it. And here we go. As much as I was afraid of putting the pillars back, they went in. I wouldn't say it was easy, but it was less headache than I thought. And they blend in nicely. I'll go to the front. It's easier to say it that way. Here we go. So from driving position, this is pretty much, oh, super wide angle on the phone. Yeah, this wide angle looks weird. You don't see the tweeter and the mid so separate. If I jump back, yeah, you see it more like this from driving position. So it doesn't block much from the view. Yet we have the drivers on axis enough. I'm sure once I get to the stage to measure it, they should be good enough for what I want from a system. And then those should maintain similar aiming for the passenger side as well. So even the passenger gets decent response, because we don't have a center speaker in the car, and people always keep asking me about, you know, benefits of center field and things like that, what I actually covered yesterday on Patreon in some of the questions the guys had. So it's worth to check out Patreon. I have to mention it every single video because honestly, there's so much you can learn there. You can find a link to Patreon in the description. So pillars finally are in. I added deadening, the same 5mm deadening to the back of it, so it's proper solid. This is a stupid thing, to be fair, to knock on things, but trust me, those pillars are rigid now. And yeah, all the little details. I had to paint the stainless M3 bolts to black, so this way you can't see them, they completely disappear. From the mid-range the tweeters are push fit, but because they have claws behind the sides, once you push it in, and we 3D printed the rings accurate, yeah, you can't pull it out easily. You need special tools, or you have to take the whole pillar out and then push it out from the back, which is still difficult, but that tweeter is not going to go anywhere. But that tiny little 1mm countersunk we printed, that just brings it out a touch, because it has a small, probably 45 degree, and then 2mm down. So once it's countersunk, then we just have the 45 degree profile a bit. We'll have the same on the other ring, just so we have smoother transition plus diffraction. Diffraction is something I always try to emphasize to people, because you don't want anything sharp over the edge of the tweeter, because that will cause issues in your response. But many people do. Many people put fancy big grills in front of speakers. Hey ho, why not? So this is where it is, day 4. If you haven't seen the previous 3 days, then check out the channel, guys, and there's gonna be a link to the playlist of this car in description too, so you can see every single day's progress. And tomorrow we really have to make noise, because I was hoping yesterday I would have noise by tonight, but there's no point to rush things and possibly make mistakes. We still have a day tomorrow, so stay with us, subscribe to the channel, and then share it to as many people as possible. They can see proper stuff, you know, when it comes to sound quality, not just the marketing bullshit that, oh, what a beautiful build, we have this and that, happy customer. And then we always say, you know, and where's the happy customer? We want to see the happy customer saying and talking. No, you know, you shouldn't say it. The customer should say it when he's happy with the car. So, well, we will see what this car is going to sound like, and what the owner of this is going to be like. But hopefully he will take part in the last video when it's going to be collected, and then we can share his thoughts about this car before and after, and the whole story all the way up to this stage. And I cut it here. See you tomorrow in the next one.